for now, I want to bring on Deborah Neary and her beautiful daughter, Fiona. And they're going to talk about what their results have been so far, really getting the gut back in balance. So thank you, ladies, for being here. I really appreciate you sharing your story. So Deborah, give us an idea of like where you were at, like what made you reach out for maybe some holistic solutions to kind of feel better.
I was feeling a general sense of anxiety, and which led to feeling depressed, wondering where it was coming from, not really wanting to do the conventional thing. I'm not that kind of person to just go and try and cover something up. I was trying to get to the bottom of it and thinking the whole time that it was to do with my brain, my mind, my lack of something, my inability to learn. I just kept find a logical reason so that I could address it.
Just going back for a minute now,
Uh,
like generally, were you eating like a pretty healthy diet? You're a pretty healthy person
Yeah,
overall, would you say?
I'd say we eat a lot of vegetables. That was part of the painful thing about it, was feeling like I had a lot of knowledge, and I did a lot of research on all kinds of things, including
Mhm.
food, and nutrition. And it just, nothing seemed to touch it. Didn't matter what modality I would try. And I have a lot of friends who are great healers, and I was going through a massage and all kinds of things, feeling like maybe it was something that was stuck in my body, but not remembering the thing about the gut and that being out of whack, because I'd heard about that years ago. So it was a real relief when I found out about this protocol, and wanted to try it. It made perfect sense to me, so I was hoping it was going to
Mhm.
be different.
So was it something that you felt like instant relief, or was it something that over time, like you felt like subtle changes occurring?
I hesitate to say this, but the first day when I did the reboot, the product that actually helps to clean out and start again, the first day I felt a difference emotionally. It was almost kind of spooky in a way, like kind of looking around, like, where's that anxiety gone? Like I was kind of almost like looking for it, because it felt really like a physical thing to me. Also a physical reaction to it. I could feel it right away. And I know
Wow.
that doesn't happen always for everybody, but I know
Right.
I
Everybody's different, I think, and it really depends on where you're at. Like if you were eating clean and your body was like kind of on like pretty healthy exercise, that kind of thing, I think maybe you will see response faster. But I've seen people that have been in really poor health and also feel over time like it just gets better and better and better and better. Do you think that it was kind of like the missing link for you? Like, because that's always like kind of like how I see it, because I too had like was eating good and all of that. And it was kind of like this was like the icing on the cake, like to get you to like going from good to great or going from
well,
not so good to good.
for me, it was definitely the missing link. It felt like it didn't matter what else I did, even, like changing my mind, thinking positive thoughts, all that. I just kept getting sort of dragged back into that general feeling of this isn't really working. And now, with my understanding and with my own experience, I realize that you can do all that stuff, but if you don't have a good foundation, it just keeps crumbling back. It keeps falling
Mm.
back to that kind of default, which I was used to, like, oh, maybe this is my normal me. I really believe that no matter what it is that's going on, if you can balance that, your gut, your microbiome, your access, your brain gut access, and all those goody things that I'm now learning about, you have a better chance for your body to heal naturally, mentally and
Right.
physically.
Yeah, that's what I love about the system is not it puts the body into an environment where it can begin to heal itself, which is what, we know the immune system stems from the gut. Like everything stems from the gut. So Fiona, I'm going to put you on the spot now. What have you noticed about your mom, like a difference in her over the last few months?
So before she started taking the probiotics and whole system, like I could feel her energy and she felt like very numb and like not really like she was living, like she just was like kind of in one, like I couldn't
Like,
really, when I looked in your eyes, you felt like
like not really
like
present,
bring
like
light back into her. And
Wow.
she was
Wow. So would you say like she was like one like kind of numb, like not a lot of joy like in her
Mhm.
personality?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and it was really
Wow.
like how I felt about her because I didn't want to be around that energy, but I was also trying to like help and
Oh, what a sweet daughter you are. So I know that you also are a college student and that you decided, or I don't know, was it you or your mom said, why don't you give this a whirl? Was it your mom that suggested it, or you said, let me
remember.
see how?
We were both on board right away with the concept. Like, this looks great. Fiona was, really 100% with me, and I
Mhm.
think you started the products the next month
Yeah, actually,
after.
since you were,
Yeah.
she was like dancing in the kitchen and like, like, like I want to experience this, but she was like, no, this is my product. You have to
Oh,
take
right. It
it.
was like, don't take them, but you can't take those.
Yeah, I was like, I want to. I'll have to try it myself because I was
Yeah.
experiencing. I couldn't like first semester of college. I was in last fall. I having a hard time really focusing in my classes and
Mhm.
wasn't sure why that was. Like I was like really trying to learn and be present, but like I felt like I wasn't listening or like I couldn't like
Mm.
be right there like as a student like taking in as much information as I wanted to. So I had like an overall like brain fog kind of. So I started the reboot and like within a week I was like so much better. Like the
Wow.
effect of
Yeah.
coffee wasn't really like hyper. It was just like really
Yeah, that's interesting. And so let me just tell you what I know you mentioned it quickly, briefly about the reboot. So the reboot is just a 3-day kind of reset the microbiome before you start on the fundamentals pack, which is our flagship product of balancing the microbiome. So, and I've heard that from people too, that the reboot really kind of clears the mind and kind of gets your energy back and your focus back in place. And then when you start balancing the microbiome, things just continue to get better and better and better as you're populating with good bacteria in the microbiome. So it's really interesting how it all changes things like so much, like little things over time, which is very cool. So anyway, that's great. So anything else you want to add, like any other results that you feel you would encourage people to give it a try? Like, what would you say to people that are experiencing maybe low mood or low energy, some of the other things, brain fog, all that kind of thing?
I would say that it helps you to more centered and like more like clear, like see your life more clearly than like
Mm,
because like all of this food that we're eating today is like not real like it's not all organic and it has lots of other stuff in it that we shouldn't be eating. So I think like this helps you to maintain that like really healthy system that
mhm.
being depleted by all of these like pesticides and like toxic things that we're eating on a daily basis. Like
Yeah,
it's like a like
yeah.
have
Great
to
point.
bring to yourself.
Great point. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the stress is another one that we know really plays havoc on our microbiome.
Mhm.
And I don't know anyone that doesn't have stress. So that's another one. But yeah, you're right. Good point about all the stuff that we're exposed to. It's not all clean, like the air we breathe, the stuff that we're surrounded by. I mean, I eat organic for the most part, probably 80% of my diet, and still, there's stuff that happens. So I feel like this is a really good assurance that I'm giving my body the best I can to keep it functioning optimally. So
Mhm.
that's good. Awesome. So
For
any
me,
last words, Deborah?
it's not just the food, it's all the other stuff that's coming at us, emotional things,
Mm,
social media. It's like there's so much just kind of
right.
entering into our lives right now. And it's helped me by balancing myself and feeling more grounded and more joyful just in my own life. Is helping
Mm,
me to not get sort of sucked into all that because so much of it
mm,
is negative. It's helped me to kind of like a water off a duck's back. It's like I see it, I understand it, but I'm not going to allow it to get right in there and eat away at me so that I I can't function, so
Right.
it's a big thing for me. I've noticed a big difference there in
Mm.
my own personal
Wow.
life. So just seeing things that are happening in the world, like I can think of things more lovingly and more openly than when I
Mhm.
was feeling crappy about myself.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I know that you kind of like describing like stress resiliency, like
Mm.
things that would normally like be able to seep in and really steal your joy, or it's easier for you to kind of let that roll off your back or see it like in a different light. It's so very interesting. It really is amazing what this does. So, thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate you coming on, especially Fiona. That was a last minute gift to us here. So, maybe we'll have you back again because we can talk about maybe millennials at some point and focus on that a little bit. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let us know if you got value. So, thanks again, ladies.